This week on The Real Housewives of Miami.
How rude it is to make everybody wait.
I don't even know you that well for you to be speaking to me like that.
I know enough about you that you just made us wait 2 hours waiting on you.
Okay.
Like it's like a grand Lisa entrance. It's very rude.
Okay, you're being very rude.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be recapping the newest episode of The Real Housewives of Miami, Season 7, Episode 5. Let's get right into it. Okay, so this episode opens up with Alexia meeting with Daniel, a self-help expert, a life coach, basically. She found him on Instagram, and they showed some of his Instagram posts, and he's one of those life coaches that they post some of these corny pictures that, I've seen these types of people on Instagram. When you go through their pages, it looks like a little scammy, okay? Scammy-ish, but here she is. Alexia has been talking to him for some time now, and she says that he has really helped her through this time of change with her life, what she's going through with Todd and all that stuff. So in this scene, he's giving her tips about what to do. He talks about the books that he's written about dealing with narcissists. Apparently that's his thing, of like his area of expertise, I guess. So Alexia is planning a little event with all the girls, all 9 of them. Daniel is going to be there, I guess, working with them, and they're going to be talking about narcissism. And the theme of the event is going to be Greece, which I like. I was like, where's Angie K? Moving on, we see Lisa and Jodi. One of the agreements in the settlement that Lisa had with her ex-husband Lenny is that it was stipulated in the agreement that Lenny would pay for a house to be built for Lisa, and that house is still being worked on. So Jodi is pretty involved and pretty informed on everything that's happening, you know, sort of all of Lisa's projects and the things she needs to do, the house, the status, pretty much everything. Lisa then tells him that some people, Larsa, are mad that he is that she has someone who has her back, as in him. And she says, you know, that people are mad that he has her back, that he's by her side, and that they're all haters. But she's not worried about it. And, you know, when it comes to Jodi, I'm still giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm not willing to say right away, oh, he's a gold digger and he's after her for her money or because she's like well known and on this show. I think there's a fine line between that and genuinely being in a partnership. I mean, you're in a partnership. You're supposed to know a lot about each other and care about one another. So I don't want to, like, you know, be a little extreme right away. So I'm still kind of team Jodi and Lisa for the most part, even though they are a little weird themselves. But I do think that Larsa is for sure a hater and wants people to be miserable. We then see Stephanie, Larsa, and Keke. I'm enjoying getting to know Stephanie. She talks a little bit more about her businesses and her husband's company. You can tell that is what she really cares about the most. Like, that is the main thing in her life, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, you know, everyone has different things that are most important to them, and to her, that's just one of those things. So they're out having lunch. Stephanie's mom FaceTimes her. She then says that her and her mom talk like 100 times a day. I love seeing that Stephanie was introducing Keke to her mom and through the phone. And Keke knows Spanish. She was able to say, hi, how are you doing in Spanish? So that's great. So after that, Stephanie says that, yeah, she's super close with her parents. She even took them with her on her honeymoon, which might sound weird, but I'm super close to my parents, so I kind of get it. She asks Keke if she's close with her parents, and Keke says, yeah, you know, I'm super close with my mom. My dad, not so much. I just found out I have a new brother, but she says that she's definitely trying to rebuild that relationship with her dad because she really wants her oldest son and her dad to have a connection, a relationship, because they don't really know each other that much. Stephanie and Larsa give Keke advice. Stephanie says, yeah, you know, every day is one less day without them that you're going to have with them. So it's really important to try and make things right. Although she says that she's not really one to talk because she hasn't spoken to her twin sisters in almost 3 years. So she has twin sisters, and she says that she made one of the biggest mistakes you could do when it comes to family, giving them a job for her company, because that just never works out. Okay, it doesn't work out. So that went south. And she also says that she totally, admits that she has a tendency of being a little firm when she speaks to people. So that might be contributing to why they don't want to talk to her. But she's definitely made a lot of attempts to try and mend things, but there just has not been a success yet. She says also that she really liked getting to know the other women at Julia's baby shower, although Lisa didn't leave the best taste in her mouth when Lisa made a comment saying, "Oh, you have a yacht, I definitely want to be your friend." When someone says that to you when they just met you, it's not, you're not going to think the best of them. Larsa then says, "Yeah, she's very superficial." And I was like, Larsa, the nerve. I mean, come on, really? I can't. Moving along, then we see Adriana in her villa. She tells us, actually, a fun fact that I didn't know. Apparently, people die more of a coconut falling on their head than they die of being struck by lightning. Wow, didn't know that. By the way, I need to see a little bit more Adriana this season, because we're barely seeing her. We also see Marysol. So we start seeing a lot of the women, because everyone is sort of preparing for what appears to be a hurricane warning. It was when Hurricane Milton was it was being talked about. So we actually then see the women sort of document on their phones what's going on. It was very windy the day before. Thankfully, it didn't affect their area in like a devastating way. Like, it didn't really affect at all. So it's a day later after the storm has died, and everyone's pretty happy that everything's good. Gertie and Alexia meet up. Gertie talks about her time in New York with the American Cancer Society and some events that she was doing there. She had a lot of fun. Gertie says that she feels good as far as her health, but she definitely has felt very out of place with the group. There was actually a lot that happened at Marysol's wedding that we didn't see. They edited it out. We saw little clips of that as she was speaking to Alexia, because before that drink throw from Julia, Gertie was actually ganged up on by all of them: Alexia, Marysol, Julia, and Larsa. So Gertie is telling Alexia she feels very misunderstood and like she's not heard. Like, even for example, on their group chat that they have, when Gertie sends texts talking about like what she's got going on, no one responds to her, which sucks. It sucks feeling like an outsider in any circle, whether it's work, whether it's with your friends, whether it's with your family. That's just the worst feeling ever. So she feels like nothing is being reciprocated. Alexia then says, "Well, that's all on your mind, and you turn people off with how you talk." Oh my gosh, Alexia, you are a narcissist, my dear. You only think your feelings matter. And why is it that when someone else is talking about what their feelings are, you think you have the right to tell them it's all in their mind, and you're telling them how to feel? No one tells you how to feel with your dysfunctional relationships. Come on, that's not cool at all. And I feel really bad for Gertie, because she really has nobody in her corner. Alexia then says that Gertie needs to talk to Julia about what happened. She then invites Gertie to this Greek-themed dinner that she's having. And listen, if I were Gertie, I would have cussed Alexia out. But I totally get that Gertie has to play her cards right. I told y'all from episode 1 that it's very clear they're trying to ice out Gertie since Nicole isn't there anymore. They're just trying to get rid of her. But I think that Gertie is being strategic and being like, you know what? Let me choose my battles and try and make some leeways with some of the other people in the group. Moving along, Keke is out with her oldest son and his friend. Her son's name is Shamar. She's very proud that he's going to college. He's a first-generation college student, and he just finished his first year. So he's kind of talking to her about being hazed, which I hate that. Larsa also joins them, and, she was nice, asking him questions. What are you studying? Things like that. She then asks him if he has a girlfriend, and his friend quickly says no, which I was like, okay. And then Keke, I was like, you better be careful with Larsa asking young guys if they have girlfriends or not, because you never know, in a couple years she might want to date him too. What also happened is that after they sort of like talked and ate, Shamar and his friend, they went like go play or something at the place where they were at, and Kiki and Larsa, they sat back, and Kiki tells her that she really wants her dad and her son to have a grandfather relationship. Tomorrow is Shamar's birthday, and she really wants her dad to congratulate him. So she actually calls him, and she's like, hey, how are you? How are you doing? Like, tomorrow is my son's birthday. Can you, like, please call him to congratulate him? Like, please. And that's so sad that she even has to do that. And I know people are different depending on their generation and how they grew up, and they might just not be that type of person. But it's sad. It's horrible that someone doesn't have that from their parents. So the fact that Kiki has to do all this, I think it's sad. It really is. So then we see Stephanie and we meet her husband. They go to one of their properties, a unit, and even though he's older than her, he does carry himself in a way where like he doesn't seem that much older, or at least not as older as he actually is compared to her. I think it's the way he acts, and she is also a little bit more mature. So yeah, they were asking one of the workers what happened during the hurricane, and she tells them that 2 dogs were brought as rescues, and Stephanie says her husband loves animals, so they actually had put the 2 dogs in an apartment in the unit. So they go check some apartments out in the unit. It's like an indoor complex, and they go to the one where the dogs were at, and the dogs, like, they they were all over the bed, doing their business on the bed. It was a lot. It was sort of a funny scene though. Stephanie also says that after they take a look at some of these apartments, she tells her husband that during the hurricane, something good that came out of it was that her sisters were in contact with her parents. She then thought this would be a good opportunity for her to reach out to them, but they didn't respond. Okay, so moving right along, Julia and Gertie finally meet. I love Gertie, but I didn't love this outfit. It was like a fishnet dress with a bathing suit under it. Not my favorite. So it was awkward, of course. Gertie says that she appreciates the apology text that she got. Julia's like, yeah, I meant it. I don't know how we got here. My emotions got the best of me. I apologize for throwing the drink at you. There's no excuse, and that's not who we are. Gertie says, I'm going to be honest with you. I am completely blindsided by everything that happened, and I feel backstabbed. Julia says, Gertie, I shared something so private with you, and you threw it at me. I trusted you about my facelift that I got. You betrayed my trust. What kind of friend are you? Gertie says, I feel betrayed too. You need to understand that my response was matching what I was getting. Julia says, do you not realize that you made me sound like a bad wife when you said that I left Martina to get that facelift? And Gertie's like, yes, I did say that. You hurt me, so I hurt you back. But I do apologize and hope that we never go to that place again. But do you understand how you made me feel when you pretty much humiliated me in front of everyone, saying we weren't friends? I thought we were friends, and for you to say that was extremely hurtful. Julia says, my emotions got the best of me. Gertie says, me too. So when you came at me and said we weren't friends and all this stuff, I really did feel like all knives were out. So that's why I said what I said, but I am sorry. Julia says, well, sometimes we hurt the people we love the most because we care. So they kind of agree to take baby steps. I think maybe Julia was thinking that they would just talk this over and like get it over with and like never talk about it again and just completely move on. Which, no, Gertie's like, let's take it step by step. By the way, you guys, what do y'all think of this like conspiracy theory that's going around by some fans that think that Gertie and Julia might have orchestrated this whole thing for some drama? I don't know if I believe that. I wouldn't put anything past anyone, but I don't think it's true. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Okay, it is now the day of Alexia's event, and Alexia, I can't believe she said that this Instagram influencer life coach has more quote-unquote credibility than a shaman. Why are you downing shamans? Dang. It was in a beautiful garden. I thought it went very well with the theme. Again, the whole thing is about narcissists meets Greek theme. Alexia says that this party isn't about Todd. It's actually about all the girls and having to do some self-reflections. It's like, okay, but I hope you do some self-reflections too, Alexia. Meanwhile, the women are all meeting up in a sprinter that picks them up. Marysol is the first one, then Larsa, then Keke. By the way, she spent the whole day yesterday with her dad, and he did call her son, so that's great. Bare minimum, but it means a lot. Gertie arrives, and Stephanie, then Julia, then Adriana. Last one that they're waiting on is Lisa, who's the last one to almost all places, all times. Marysol calls her, and she's not answering. They're all frustrated. Lisa's not answering because she knows she's late, and that's why they're calling her. So they're waiting, and waiting, and waiting. Lisa finally makes it. Not 30 minutes late, not 45 minutes late, not even an hour late. 2 freaking hours. So you could imagine that everyone's mad, rightfully so. And Stephanie had told us last week that one of her biggest pet peeves was people that were late. She also says that her other pet peeve is people talking about penises, which finally someone that's not a pervert, because some of these people love talking about sex a little bit too much. But when Lisa arrives, Stephanie right away, she says, well, by the way, Lisa didn't just arrive late. She also arrived like everything was fine. Like everything was perfect. Ring around the rosy. Hey, everyone. How y'all doing? And so Stephanie's like, hey, hey, Lisa. Do you think your time is more valuable than everybody else's? Or do you think you're more important than everyone else? Lisa's like, no, but I don't even know you like that for you to be speaking to me in that way. Stephanie says, well, I know you enough to know that you made us wait here for 2 hours for you. What do you want me to do? Sit here and thank you as you come in? And Lisa says, don't talk to me like that. Stephanie says, and don't be late again. Lisa says, I don't know you, and it's very rude the way you're talking to me. I have heard that you don't have many friends. I can tell why. Stephanie says, yeah, you're right. I don't have a lot of friends because a lot of people are rude and disrespectful like you. But here's the thing, you guys. The thing is, Stephanie is saying what all the women are thinking and feeling. And Lisa has some nerve to be, demanding, don't talk to me like that. Larsa even has to say, Lisa, we've been here since 12 o'clock. And then, after a little bit, Stephanie is trying to calm it down, pipe down a little, maybe even apologize if she came a little bit too harsh. But Lisa is now playing the victim. Oh, hell no. That was the end of the episode. It then says to be continued. But listen, Lisa is inconsiderate. She's rude and she's disrespectful. And I don't even dislike Lisa. I actually enjoy her sometimes. But I do dislike her ways. Because what is this? Who do you think you are? I don't care if you're the damn president of the United States or anybody. You're not going to make somebody wait for 2 hours, because what you're saying to them, and Stephanie is right. Do you think your time is more valuable than ours? She does. Lisa absolutely thinks that, because when you are being late, by the way, I think that being on time is late. That's the type of person that I am, especially when it comes to like work and things like that. But when you are willing to make people wait 2 freaking hours, essentially what you're saying to them is, I am the center of the universe, and everything revolves around me and my time. And I don't like that. That's whack. So I'm glad Stephanie checked her on that. But y'all, let me know what your thoughts were about this episode. What were your thoughts about Stephanie going off on Lisa? Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. Y'all have a great one. Bye.